Hello, and welcome to the course on site flipping for profits. Throughout this course, you will learn how to flip sites for massive profits. Site flipping is a lucrative business, and it's a relatively untapped gold mine because not a lot of people know how to do it. Luckily for you, you've got your hands on site flipping for profits. At the end of this course, you'll know exactly what to do, what type of sites to build, buy, and sell for massive profits. In this first module of the course, we will discuss the big picture of site flipping. You will learn what exactly it is all about and how it works. So without further delay, roll up your sleeves. We have some serious money making to do. So what is site flipping? Here's the premise. Buying and selling websites is one component of an overall business plan that embraces the internet for generating diverse and profitable revenue streams. Like brick and mortar real estate flipping, the process is similar, except it all takes place virtually on the web. Websites, like houses, can be worth untold amount of money, especially those with built-in audiences and a lot of traffic. You are basically buying a business and then selling it, and like the process, one would use like a house. You'd want to fix the place up, in this case, optimize the site, and sell it to the highest bidder. Virtual real estate can be a highly lucrative asset that, when leveraged appropriately, as part of a plan, can mirror and exceed the real world industry in terms of the gains. The beauty of this process is that, as a motivated entrepreneur, you don't have to worry about a physical location and the associated liabilities and costs because they are all online based. And unless you're already at the top of your game, websites are far less cheaper than buying a physical parcel of real estate. We're talking maybe a few $100s. There are a lot of techniques to successfully gauge a potential website for a purchase. There are so many sites out there that have massive amount of traffic, but the owner has never attempted to monetize it. Traffic means money, which is the bottom line when it comes to running an online business. An advantage of buying websites is that you purchase a site with the traffic built in. The task then usually carries on by using search engine optimization techniques to drive more traffic, outfitting the site with AdSense ads to monetize that traffic, and tying in affiliate marketing offers in the form of banners or links to other landing pages. For the last technique, this cannot just be implemented without a plan and an idea of what kind of traffic and niche the site is in. Formulating a strategy takes into account of your goals as an affiliate tie is important. Like assessing a brick and mortar establishment or a house, location is analogous to the niche. What type of affiliate marketing campaigns have you ran or are you interested in running? What niches are the most successful or profitable? The best niches are usually building wealth, relationships, or weight loss products. There are no hard and fast rules though when it comes to picking a niche. Analyzing websites in a particular niche is helpful to energize a campaign in progress. Some sites need not be directly related, but can be tangentially relevant to products you may already be selling. The bottom line is that the entrepreneur must have a plan on how purchasing a website will figure into an overarching strategy for a web business. Websites can be in many different stages of growth or development, just like real estate. Sometimes a site may be a fixer-upper, meaning that it may need a lot of work in terms of optimization or other monetizing techniques. Other times, the site may already be matured and optimized. It will be much more expensive. The key for savvy entrepreneur is finding that fine line between a site that has the potential to explode with the right optimization techniques. Buy sites that have the potential for monetization. A good site for flipping is one that has a revenue generation system in place. This could be a site that is selling products of your own, or a site that affiliate other products, or even a site that has existing traffic for AdSense revenue. The best sites to sell are those that are generating some sort of revenue. Hence, if you were to build a site or purchase a site that has no traffic and isn't generating revenue yet, it's best to optimize them until it makes some sort of income. This is because these kind of money making sites can easily be sold for 12 times the price of the sales and revenue the site generates per month. Providing information in the form of raw data for traffic, financials, and possibly a sales letter demonstrating its profitability are key factors to consider. Like any investment, running a successful web business requires good timing and also simply time for the business to mature. Besides being able to time a purchase of a popular site and ramping up its profit potential, do you also have the time? By following this course, you will definitely benefit by utilizing principles and strategies that will be laid out for you, but at the end of the day, you will still need to take time to understand how to implement them. This might be difficult at first, especially if you are unfamiliar with how the web operates. The good thing is that absolutely anyone can learn and master these principles. As you work your way through the modules and grasp the concepts of flipping sites, you will be able to better spend your time more productively, focusing on the cornerstones of the strategy: how to find sites, where to find them, when to buy them, when to sell them, and how to time your entry so that the risks you take are calculated ones. For the uninitiated, this may sound like a tall order. The wonderful thing that it most certainly is not. The web has the lowest barrier to entry compared to virtually any other industry, whether we are talking about bricks and mortar business or residential developments. Without a significant amount of capital and understanding of the legal ramifications of owning actual real estate, you might as well just forget about it. Making a mistake with a parcel or a house can cost you not just financially but legally as well. This is what makes running a web business so attractive. We are dealing with real items bought and sold through virtual portals with very little regulation governing those transactions. On top of that, we are dealing with an advertising and affiliate business model that places a premium on traffic. Try opening up your brick and mortar business on that poorly traveled thoroughfare in the real world. Think of Google as the main highway that is both endless and full of potential. Flipping sites is a lot like day trading, but you can drastically reduce the risk by knowing the playing field. Taking some time to consider how flipping websites is going to figure into your strategy for running a web business will give you a roadmap for success. These modules will help establish that roadmap with sound principle, strategies, and tactics that work and generate massive profits. The unlimited bounty of the internet is not just reserved for the privileged few or the well established. There are no real major barriers to entry, but there is competition just like in the real world. Understanding the competition and being able to capitalize on things like trends, hot products, communities, keyword niche, or even domain names are all principal approaches to acquiring and flipping websites. So what's it going to be then? Do you want to work from home and be your own boss? Are you sick and tired of that 9 to 5 job? If so, then learning how to flip websites is a great start towards establishing a foothold in the lucrative virtual world. If you have patience, a hard work ethic, and the determination to dedicate yourself to the time it requires, you're already halfway there. These modules will take you the rest of the way. Just like those who put in the work, when it comes to trading stocks or real estate, this industry is no different and can be a life-changing and sustainable part of a web business that will give you peace of mind, confidence, and finally, the financial freedom that you would like and deserve. Buying low and selling high are familiar principles to most. It is one of the most basic tenets of trading stocks or dealing in real estate. The idea is that you want to buy at the bottom of the market or the trend and then sell it either when the market comes back or the trend has reversed itself. With real estate like houses, it is common for a group of investors or single person to invest in a property that needs some work. There is some outlay of cash to modernize the house and renovate the property. After doing this for a couple of months, the house is put back into the market and sold at a higher price, thus generating a profit. By renovating the house, you impart value in the form of material assets that are recognized and consequently of value to a consumer and the market. If you bought and flipped houses in the real world and could earn an average between $30,000 to $50,000 in profit, you would only need to do it about 3 times in a year and live pretty nicely now, couldn't you? The same concept applies almost identically to the online world of buying and flipping websites. This module will run you through techniques for how to accomplish this with confidence and the understanding of how this will fit into a broader strategy of running a successful web business. Unlike real estate websites, can be purchased for far lower and then flipped for much more. You could conceivably purchase a website for a few $100s and flip it for 5 figures while only spending a couple hours a day dedicated to optimization. This is a reality. In the virtual world, it's all about products, community, and recognition. People go online to find and buy products, and they will go to the sites that appear first on the search engine. People also participate in online communities in the form of forums or any number of social networks outside of the big competitors. People are attracted to brands they know, but they're also willing to try new and interesting things off the beaten path. These are where niches come into play. Niches are related to marketing in that they are classifications like dieting, wealth building, etc. Within a niche, there are a whole range of products. In a niche like dieting, there may be supplements to help lose weight or to build muscle mass. Customers will purchase products within a niche if they realize it has value. Being a part of an affiliate campaign is how internet marketers capitalize on customers' product demands and demonstrate the value of those products. So how does this play into website buying and flipping? The most important variable in all of this is through traffic. Traffic is what drives industry on the web. Converting ads or product purchases, for example, are just two ways of people generating revenue. This requires a lot of traffic. Buying a website that has this built-in potential for either serving traffic or playing into a marketing campaign is how you capitalize. By buying low, you are searching the depths of the web for that diamond in the rough that may be a hobby for someone that has been working consistently on it for years, that has a dedicated community. Just like you are looking for that fixer-upper in the real world that may be in a nice neighborhood. The good thing about the internet, there are no neighborhoods really, and any house you find can be placed in the best neighborhood practically overnight, on the first page of a Google search. This can be a little time-consuming, but well worth it. Depending on how well capitalized you are, though, you always want to buy low. You may already have an affiliate campaign, or may be highly educated about a niche and/or a community. You need to dive into the search engines and look for a website that is still relatively unknown that you can understand and see some potential for growth. Obviously, if you're already capitalized by your web business, you can set the bar higher, but you will still have to pay probably 6 figures for any website that appears on the first SCRP. What does this mean? By growth, we mean potential to ramp up traffic by simple optimization techniques, and also monetization of the site. Many people don't understand the very easy methods for monetizing a site. A website that has a loyal community base in a niche you understand, and may possibly already be in, is the perfect candidate. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Do your due diligence and try to assemble a group of sites that look appealing that figure some way into your strategy. What's your niche? What is your angle here? Are you purchasing the sites to essentially to buy the customers that are already there to feed them an affiliate product? This is just one tactic of how to energize a site by monetizing it so you can turn it over and flip it. You can see that having a comprehensive approach is key to understanding how buying a website at a low price will factor into how quickly you'll be able to flip it. There are certain exchanges online as well that may give you insight into the potential of sites. Be wary though, and always research to the best of your ability. So you purchased a website, optimized it, and now it's making money, right? More money than before, right? Just like renovating a house in real life, you need to renovate that site to get it ready to flip. Monetizing the site is how you sell high, bottom line. To do this, you need to understand the principles of search engine optimization, and you need to get your hands dirty with a little code and content. This is not difficult though. You also need to be familiar with AdSense. In some cases, buying a well-trafficked site and slapping on some AdSense is an instant revenue generating method. By demonstrating your renovations have added value, as much value as you can willingly impart, you will have no trouble selling the site to the highest bidder. If someone were to analyze the traffics or metrics of the site before and after, what would they see? If you can clearly demonstrate that your monetization strategy is successful, people will be beating down the door to buy the site from you. And as a rule of thumb, a site is simply worth however much someone is willing to pay you for it. So you see, just as in the real world, buying low and selling high can work effectively for virtual real estate. Websites have so much potential with the right approach and strategy to managing the investment. Like most investments, it does require some time and patience to understand the subject matter and the terminology. But this is accomplished easily with diligence. The same diligence and motivation that drives you to want to work from home and make this a reality. Buying low and selling high is a surefire way to catalyze instant profits and riches in the right hands. Don't be discouraged by the terms that you may find unfamiliar. There are so many resources for quickly figuring that out. The most important thing for you to realize is having a goal in mind, along with a roadmap to reach that goal, is crucial. These modules will help build that roadmap in regards to the tactics that you can implement to reach that ultimate goal. But you will have to tie that rope a little bit yourself to get up to date. With your finger on the pulse of the World Wide Web, ready to take energetic action. Achieving true financial independence has never been easier with the advent of internet marketing and an unlimited potential to generate long-lasting and significant profits. For best results when buying low and selling high, try to focus on a niche or area of interest. You don't necessarily need to be an expert or have any information about it all, but it can help. Keep in mind that websites are already popular and have traffic built in and will be much more expensive than those sites that may have a niche appeal, but are just not monetized correctly. These type of sites on the virtual edge are ideal for attempting to strike a deal. Hobby sites that may be directly related to a niche you're already in is perfect. Again, it will take a little time to wade through the sandbox, that is the internet, but with this time comes the knowledge that you will be fast on your way to establishing a successful web business. Welcome to the third module of this course, where you will learn how to create site for profits. Building sites that generate a revenue stream, as it relates to site flipping, is a fundamental force behind running a successful web business overall. Sites have value based on the traffic they can potentially generate. Traffic equates to converting product sales via an affiliate campaign or converting ad clicks. While there are myriad companies that offer affiliate services, the primary ad-based revenue model on the web these days is Google. There are others via Yahoo or Microsoft, but Google has a lion's share of the search market, and as such, should be your first place to hook into for a solution. Traffic, besides just being a statistical measure of sheer volume of people, reaching a site can also be accessed via the richness of social networks. Many sites, such as the ones you would want to purchase, have traffic, but this is built around a niche or a hobby perhaps. Maybe this hobby or niche is one where you already have a successful and lucrative affiliate campaign running, and that you actively spend money to advertise for. Consolidating your affiliate campaign with a lesser known but related site is a great way to create a site for profit by taking that website and monetizing it further. Social networks that exist on these sites already have a built-in customer base that can be driven to take advantage of your product offers via an affiliate campaign. That is another key, taking advantage of traffic and directing it towards your offers and products. The better you can relate products to a base of potential customers, and especially if they are looking for a product via the same set of keywords, the more money-making potential exists for your web business. This is a big topic, but a crucial one. This will outfit you with the conceptual framework you need to add to your arsenal in the form of tactics that you can employ as part of your overall strategy towards having a successful web business. As mentioned before, buying a website that already is being targeted relative to a product or some service you already sell is a good starting point. Chances are, you're already familiar with the niche through running affiliate marketing campaigns. Identifying sites that are in line with these goals is a good way to bring your goals in sync with one another. In such instances, your chief goal isn't necessarily to change the content of the site very much, but to instead improve performance of ad conversions or list building. Again, purchasing a site that is driven by a rich community is a good bet, especially if the target site has a massive forum that is related to the niche that your affiliate campaign is related to. The issue with this is that the owners do not understand the cost of bandwidth and are having difficulty keeping it up. This can mean a great bargain for you, and on top of that, a huge potential customer base. Optimizing the site will remedy the bandwidth, and you can alter the site to contain your own ads and affiliate materials. Target keywords that are popular. There are always hot trends and products that are about to become really big. Think of it in terms of musical artists becoming famous. There's usually a small dedicated fan base that is loyal to the artist. The artist strikes a record deal and boom, they are famous, and now officially mainstream. In the same way, having your finger on the pulse of trends and being knowledgeable about what is hot and what kinds of variations of those trends may become hot is a good way to get a bargain basement deal on a website so you can flip it when it blows up. Search engine traffic is driven by keywords, and being able to identify a trend right becomes very popular as a surefire way to add massive value to a site and then sell it for huge profits. The typical journey of a trend on the web is obscurity, and then as it becomes more and more popular and mainstream, those keywords become money makers for those already there. If you can get in and buy the sites that already have been established such keyword rich content, you can make a pretty penny when the future becomes present. There is always competition, and surely this is a good way to gauge how successful or popular a topic or trend may be. The more competitors, the bigger piece of the pie they're trying to get. Sure, consolidation occurs all the time, but there's no reason why you can't remove the competition by buying them up or merging with them. This can be highly lucrative and is a common practice in brick and mortar establishments or industries in the real world. The beauty of the internet as the Wild West is that there are no real antitrust regulations. However, there is a lot more potential competition. Creating one giant enterprise uniting the interests, products, or services that you may offer can create market dominance and funnel all of the profits to you and your new partners. This is like buying a street address. Though this doesn't explicitly add value to a website, it is a method that has to be mentioned. The key to understand is that the name or address is what holds the value here. The domain that you use for your website should consist of a highly searched keyword or related keywords. Secondly, it should sound catchy and also memorable. Domain names play a big part in site flipping, and normally buyers want to purchase a domain that has presence in the market. The Wild West of online marketing and entrepreneurship is packed of guilds with money-making opportunity. Creating sites for profit by buying and selling them is a pretty easy way to get you on the right path towards financial success. Knowing the ins and outs on how to optimize a site is truly helpful, so a few thoughts on how to add real value to a site. The name of the game is monetization. How is this accomplished? You need to use common techniques of search engine optimization to boost the profile of the site on search engine result pages. This is achieved by having tightly written content with appropriate keyword density and optimized HTML code that makes the best impression for the search engine crawl bots. By doing this, you will ensure that the page appears high up on the SERPs and drives a ton of traffic. Now that you have the traffic, you can make money. This is accomplished by tying in Google AdSense for one and any other affiliate promotions you may be working on. When the traffic you created via SEO techniques gets there, they will see targeted ad content and they can then click on it. You can further drive traffic by paying for ad content via PPC or pay per click. By this way, you pay every time someone clicks on an ad and is driven to your site or collection of sites that feature an affiliate promotion perhaps. It goes without saying that having a focused and well thought out strategy in mind when tying either ads or affiliate campaigns is important. Knowing your niche and having a plan to leverage the acquisition of a website is crucial. Flipping a site that you have outfitted with some of these techniques can and will occur if you are determined to spend some time renovating the site. In other cases, you might just want to basically buy the site to drive the pre-existing customer base towards your promotions, and then flip it later, after optimizing it and collecting the users for a database that you can use to target for later promotions. These are general strategies or techniques that are in wide practice today by the most successful entrepreneurs online. Ultimately, the future is in your hands, and the better able you can in some ways predict it and also guide your web business towards reasonable expectations in the form of affiliate and ad tie-ins as they relate to your website acquisitions, the better you will be able to realize not just a short-term boon in finances, but also a sustainable and rich stream of revenue. Adding value has never been easier, and there are a ton of tools like these modules to help you get there, so that the dream of being financially independent is no longer a dream, but hopefully a simple fact of life. Welcome to the fourth module of Site Flipping for Riches. In this module, you will learn how to add massive value to your virtual real estate for more profits. This section is all about how you carry out the renovation portion of the process of flipping websites. Like a home in the real world, websites are no different, and the way you do this is crucial to being able to flip it for more money. Optimization. Optimizing sites is a big industry these days, as landing on the first page of search engine results page is a surefire way to get noticed and also to drive high volumes of traffic to a site. A lot of people who own sites don't really understand how a site can be monetized successfully. Maybe they are dealing with crushing bandwidth costs, and it's just a hobby. A community they love perhaps with hundreds or thousands of users. What does the website owner do? This is where you come in. These sites can be purchased for a song, usually because the owner is inexperienced with how to run it correctly. Sure, they had a good idea, and were able to create a great community base, but now they don't know what to do. By swooping in and helping the owners of websites like this, you can stand to profit by adding value in the form of your optimization, which is really just monetization of a site. What are the best ways to do this? What are successful strategies? Read on to find out. So maybe you ran a few affiliate campaigns. Maybe you have identified a niche that you like or know quite a bit about by now. You've leveraged ads before, and you are moderately successful, so what's next? Buying a site and building value while incorporating the core of your affiliate marketing campaign, along with AdSense or other types of advertising methods, is what you do. The best of all worlds is buying a website that already ties into your product or promotion somehow. They may be in the same niche or a closely related tangible niche. Remember that within one niche, there are always lots of different products all vying in that same keyword space. Once the website is purchased, you begin driving that traffic via affiliate advertising, sales pages, or landing pages and email list building activities. The traffic should be consistent and high quality before attempting to take the plunge though. And one other problem that can crop up is buying a website that has massive bandwidth costs, while the potential customer base just isn't there. Don't buy sites that don't appeal or relate somehow to the products or services you are offering. This can be a liability. In some cases, you will acquire a site and not touch the content at all, meaning you just apply and improve advertising performance. You will certainly happen to chance upon a site that has absolutely amazing content. Maybe that content applies to your own affiliate campaigns or marketing strategies, or maybe not. It's not a requirement. The main requirement is that the content must be good. Once you own the site and the contents, you can repurpose that content and repack it in a number of different ways to generate revenue. This can come in the form of giveaways to join an email list or information articles. Of course, just buying a site to flip it immediately is part and parcel to anyone who is involved in flipping anyway. Sometimes, the site isn't right to flip immediately, and some work needs to be done, but in some cases, a site can be flipped rather readily. The key component for the strategy is that you have to have a pretty keen eye when it comes to evaluating a site. It has to practically bowl you over with its potential for a huge upside after flipping it. The best sites to do this are with e-commerce sites that sell products. The products are not yet popular, but probably will be, or have the potential to become mainstream. No easy task in itself, but it can be done. The second ingredient is that the people who own the site have to be absolutely horrible at optimization and also have no online marketing skills. The latter ingredient usually means they are probably willing to sell because, while maybe they have a good product, they just can't figure out a way to leverage optimization or marketing to get it out there. Once the site is purchased, you can optimize it very quickly because before you purchased it, you already figured out a strategy, right? This should result in a major spike in sales, hopefully double-figure percentage increases, and by the time the rest of the market sees what you have done and is trying to catch up, you sell it for the big bucks before the market becomes saturated. Buying a community website is a nice way to basically purchase customers, especially as it relates to your target niche. A lot of the time, the people who build these sites are merely hobbies. Due to bandwidth costs and not understanding how to monetize, they are usually willing to sell for a bargain. The thing to watch out for is the types of affiliate promotions that trend well and what sort of keywords you think the potential customer base is actualized around. You don't want to strap yourself with the liability of exorbitant bandwidth, especially if you can't get much in the way of conversions in return for the trouble. At the very least, you can always build a database of list community and use them for future promotions. Finding a site that operates in an already popular keyword niche or one that you think might become popular soon can be a good hedge. Obviously, this entails some research and some sense of what is hot and not in the world of the World Wide Web. Some trends or fads can be capitalized quickly and effectively, but the key really to this approach is being ready to execute once you've done the work by applying principles and strategies outlined in this module. Joining up with the competition or eliminating the competition can be very helpful for your web business online and can add truly massive value. Consolidating similar interests online into one enterprise is a good way to unify and positively direct cash flow to you and your partners. To that end, buying your competitors is a good idea too, if you can afford it. Creating market dominance, especially in a niche you are in control of, is important and can have a lasting and long-term revenue potential that will truly build massive value. Finally, you can always purchase domains. Still as popular as ever, this also takes a little bit of knack of understanding trends and having that all-seeing third eye into the future to some extent. Many people have made a living by just squatting domains, but like anything, this takes persistence and research. Being connected and well aware of hot trends and burgeoning trends is the key to success here. Ultimately, these are just a handpicked and best performing few of many strategies that are related. These should be starting points for investigating how building massive value in a site figures into a plan for creating a sustainable web business. You could get by just focusing on any one of these strategies really. The best and most determined entrepreneur, though, will understand when and why to apply a given strategy, though. This takes some degree of trial and error, and you probably won't succeed the first time. But knowing how to apply these strategies, given a situation or scenario that is played out, can make you very rich in a short period of time. There's no replacement for good research or some good work. These strategies will take time. Time to analyze how you can optimize a site, and time to consider what trends are hot, and what keyword niches are primed to explode. With this time thinking about these things, there is also the time you take to actually manage a site once it has been acquired and the process of building that value. The techniques, though, are conceptually easy to understand. Will you be doing this yourself, or will you enlist the help of others? Imagine buying a house with no plan to renovate it or enhance its value, especially if your goal was to flip it. How do you imagine that endeavor would pan out? Not too well, right? The same principles essentially apply to flipping websites online. The good thing is that you don't need to be an expert in concrete, woodworking, and adhere to a boatload of local and government regulations when it comes to purchasing and selling a site. This is what makes it so attractive, because it has all of the upside of buying and selling in the real world with a lot less liability. So you've done all the heavy lifting. You've purchased some sites or built them from scratch. You've optimized them and added massive value. Now you're almost ready to flip them over for massive profits. In this module, we will cover where and how exactly this process works. You will be guided to the process of selling your site for maximum profit. So let's roll on. Preparation is key. The more metrics and information that you can provide to buyers, the better. In some cases, you will be approached, especially if you did a really great job, which will take some of the hassle out of the process for you. In other cases, you will have to actively seek to sell it, which can take a little more work, but more on that later. The key when being approached by someone to buy the website is that they will probably want to see some performance information about how well the site operates. If someone does not ask for this information, they probably are not truly interested in the site. First and foremost are the traffic statistics. This should include all sorts of traffic information, such as unique visitors, where the visitors are coming from, how much traffic is directed to the site via search engines or bookmarks, what set of keywords performs well, and is popular for, and PageRank, which is Google's proprietary algorithm for determining the relevance or value of your site. Getting PageRank is worthwhile here. Quite simply, PageRank, or Google PR, is the method by which Google calculates your site as it appears on search engine result pages. High ranks will obviously put closer to the top of the list, and lower ranked sites will put you further down. The reason this works is because Google is in the business of feeding people who use its search engine high quality and relevant results. This is the core of their business model. By providing relevant and high quality links, they can advertise and make money. Their advertising sharing programs, such as AdSense or AdWords, are predicted on this approach. By giving you a cut of the proceeds, everyone wins in this situation. So the way to elevate PageRank is not to only optimize the site via search engine optimization techniques, but to also include relevant and high quality links. The best content in the world is made better by backlinks to popular sites, and are figured highly in the calculation. Assuming you didn't buy a site that had a monetization strategy already built in, which, by nature, should be fully optimized, then PageRank is the goal you're working towards as you renovate the site and get it ready to flip. Providing financial information to a potential buyer is also a good idea. While this doesn't have to come in a formal statement such as a profit loss, providing key metrics like bandwidth costs and how much advertising revenue generated is helpful. Obviously, the more information you can provide on this front, the better. Serious buyers will want to see how much domain hosting and bandwidth actually is versus the revenue from advertising monthly. Some kind of a sales letter, which talks about the site, introduces you, the seller, and the reasons why you want to sell the site, and what it really has to offer can be helpful though, not necessary. You can take creative license with this, or not provide it at all. In the business of quick flipping, this is a formality that is not often required or practiced, as a majority of sales take place via auctions. Finally, and most importantly, how much are you going to sell the site for? As mentioned in the first module, a website is truly worth whatever a potential buyer is willing to fork over it. Websites by their nature are not really tangible properties like real estate, which adhere to extensive regulation, appraisal, and so on. You have the ability to spin the data in a lot of beneficial ways without being dishonest, so keep this in mind as you decide on the price. If your website is in a great niche with great keywords, that's worth something, right? How much? It is up to you. And ultimately, it's also up to how much the buyer is willing to spend to acquire that value. Maybe your whole niche has become so huge that you can actually contact the retailers because you've done so well and dump the site on them. That could happen, but it is rare. Selling to an established company in your niche that you may be working for is possible but not likely. Buyers will most likely come in the form of either people doing the same thing as you to some extent, or via auction, in which case you will have the scant information about the buyer. That being said, you're most likely going to have to go outside the niche or industry you have established and find buyers elsewhere. When it comes to the online marketplace, there are a ton of sites that specialize in auctioning or negotiating the sale of sites. A few that you can try are siteflippa.com and Digital Point Forum. Buy My Website, which is a forum. Also, there are broker sites like businessbroker.net, webmastersmarketplace.com, buysellwebsite.com, and plenty of others. These sites are good for creating interest in the potential sale. If you're able to enter into the site's auction, then hold on to your hats because the bidding may come fast and furious, and it will be automated, which can be difficult, especially if you have a set price point in mind, part of your overall business strategy. It will take more work to get the price you want via an automated auction page, and you're also limited by the traffic through the auction site. That traffic may not contain the people or companies that are actively looking or interested in what you're selling. So, if you were able to use an auction, then you participated in the automated bidding and hopefully you got a price that you wanted. Again, it takes more work to move the site on as an auction, but let's say I approach you via a forum or some other site you frequent to, and you are now about to enter negotiations. Having a fundamental understanding how to negotiate is critical. This is governed by factors like urgency and how well you can dictate the terms of the negotiation. One basic rule is when selling, never sell unless you have completely satisfied with the terms. So let's say the terms were agreed to, and you are happy to. Great. So how do you finalize the sale? There are a few points to keep in mind as you make the transition towards flipping your website. Decide on when and how money ought to be transferred. This usually takes the form of a partial payment up front, as a percentage followed by the remainder of the balance once the website is formally transferred. What form is the payment going to be in? Produce a contract that lists the dates and going price for the site, and make sure everyone signs it. If you are able to flip a site for a vast sum of money, then it is probably in your best interest to retain a lawyer and ensure a smooth transfer without any liabilities. Now, the easiest way to sell is via auction, which takes less work while offering less control, and potentially the wrong audience to see it, resulting in no sale at all. There are some sites below the radar that offer such services for those especially interested in running web businesses. What's best for you is going to depend on the site, the niche, the contents, and how that figures into your strategy. Keep in mind that using auctions is a good way to get a quick turnover on your flipping activities, but you will accept the fact that you will in all likelihood get terms that are slightly less disagreeable and potentially out of your control. This isn't a big issue to worry about, but it should be considered compared to direct selling to an interested party. Ultimately, after reading through these modules, you should have a better understanding of what it takes to survive online and how to craft your overall strategy and what sort of tactics you'll be using to carry it out. There is a slight learning curve, but these modules should put you on the right footing to move closer to the goal of becoming a legitimate online entrepreneur and to finally realize financial independence while being completely in control of your destiny. Executing these deals and flipping online properties can be extraordinarily lucrative. And with these modules, you now have a good set of tools in your toolbox to make it happen. Happy site flipping!